So Suicide Squad to Kill the Justice League came out, and frankly it put me on a binge of Arkham Batman games and just storylines and so on and so forth. Been really into Batman lately, so I thought, what would have happened if you put Arkham Batman into the Demon Slayer verse? We know Batman's an absolute brutal martial artist and an absolute fiend in terms of just how good he is at almost everything. Striking, grappling, swordsmanship, you name it, he's good at it. So I was thinking, could Arkham Batman solo the Demon Slayer verse? We know how kind of OP video game characters can be, but I'm not as informed as I would like to be on this subject, so I decided I was going to bring someone in that would be able to explain it to you exactly what Arkham Batman is capable of, and I was going to leave it up to him to explain that. Now I want to introduce the one, the only, you may know him as Crown Fiend, but he's truly now the Comic Fiend, and my boy, I'm introducing Comic Fiend. Go ahead, my brother.
Alright, thanks Golden for the introduction, and now I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit about Arkham Batman and what he's capable of. So, of course, let's go ahead and cover everything that he's been through. We'll start in Origins and work our way up to Arkham Knight, which is what we're going to cut off with, since Suicide Squad, I'm just going to be honest, I don't count that stuff as canon to the Arkhamverse at all, whatsoever. So, in Arkham Origins, some of Batman's best feats of strength have come from him being able to knock out Killer Croc at the beginning of the game, with Killer Croc's bio reading that he is over 850 pounds, and that is over 4 times the weight of Bruce Wayne in that game. He's also gone toe-to-toe with Deathstroke, who is a master of several different martial arts, being able to best him, along with defeating Lady Shiva, who is a grand master in almost every form of martial arts, and is considered to be one of the best fighters in the entire world. And on top of that, he's also defeated Bane, whose punches could send him flying backwards and through several walls. On top of that, he's also had to defeat Deathstroke, who is quote-unquote one of the best assassins in the universe, in that world, you know? So next we're going to go ahead and move on to Arkham Asylum, where he's had to defeat threats such as Poison Ivy, who was infused with Titan, which made her extremely more powerful, able to send her vines and her greenery all over Arkham Island, which could independently of itself disperse poisonous spores that shot projectiles at Batman, which he was able to destroy. He was also able to defeat her in combat with her having mind-controlled guards to attack, had vines coming up from the floor at any given time, and projectiles, all while being secured behind an extremely durable and protective plant. On top of that, he's also defeated the Arkham Asylum Bane, who was able to survive having a room collapse on top of him and get hit by the Batmobile, sending him underwater submerged, and that did not kill him. So Batman at this point is already extremely durable, but it just gets even crazier from there, as in one night he was able to survive what should have been a maximum overdose of Scarecrow's fear toxin and powered through it with his sanity intact. With the amount of fear gas that he was subjected to, it should have drove any man beyond clinically insane and honestly would have killed them. But Bruce survived not just 1, 2, or 3, but are roughly around 4 to 5 doses of fear toxin from the Scarecrow. So that already puts his resistances to toxins, poisons, and hallucinogens at an all-time high. So yeah, that's just something that's incredibly nuts at that point. He's also survived, again, Killer Croc, who is able to smell where he was and just find him constantly. He was able to outpace him, outmaneuver him, and trap him down in a lower level of the sewer, showing that just because he knows that someone knows where he's at, it's not enough to put him at a disadvantage, and that he can overcome that as well. And on top of that, he defeated several Titan henchmen, which were stated to be stronger than what Venom is, and drives these guys completely berserk and maddening. On top of that, he had to deal with a venom-infused Joker, which is already very dangerous, as Joker is already unpredictable without the Titan, and with the Titan it just made him that much more of a threat. And when we go on to Arkham City, he had to deal with the likes of Mr. Freeze, someone who has already just been able to counter his every moves, and Bruce himself knew that he couldn't go toe-to-toe with Mr. Freeze, so he had to improvise on the spot. With every attack he did, it wouldn't work twice on Freeze, because of Freeze's ability to adapt and take away Batman's options in the blink of an eye, jamming his detective vision, eliminating the gargoyles that he used to perch himself on, even icing over the ledges. So Bruce had to get very creative with every way that he attacked Freeze and ended up beating him. He had to go toe-to-toe with Ra's al Ghul, who is an expert and master of swordsmanship, and Bruce himself is already a master of swordsmanship as he was trained by Ra's al Ghul himself. So no sword fighting skills or even close quarters combat would work against this Batman. He is too well equipped for it, as well as being able to dodge electricity as we see Catwoman do, and roughly Bruce is better than Catwoman. So of course he gets that level of speed as well, which puts him at base level lightning timer to almost, you could arguably put him at FTL speeds as well. So he is already incredibly fast and durable from just Arkham Knight's level, but we're not quite there yet because we have to cover Clayface. And Clayface is someone who is an incredible threat, as he can morph his body and create clay clones of himself all at the same time without reducing his intelligence too much, and has been proven to be an incredibly durable and dangerous threat. And now we're ready to move on to Arkham Knight. With Arkham Knight, he had to contend with the worst situation he ever had, the city of Gotham being completely taken away from him. With the Arkham Knight, who was able to get the better of him several times throughout the night and could have killed him multiple times, ultimately ended up being Jason Todd's Robin, who had training from Batman and Deathstroke and was an incredibly dangerous threat to him, as we've seen in the games. He also had to deal with Man-Bat, a mutated monster that he'd never seen before, going to his lab and creating an antidote for the serum just by seeing the DNA sequence and creating an antidote from that alone, which just shows that he's already incredibly efficient with just being able to analyze something and create a counter for it. He's also been shown to adapt on the fly by creating new gadgets from what's in his environment already, along with him just having an incredibly durable batsuit, which is even more amped up in Arkham Knight, allowing him to perform fear takedowns, which we see once he does a fear takedown, the bullets firing from even a turret machine gun are in slow motion to him, which means he is faster than any bullet that is flying out of there, and even just puts his speed scaling way through the roof already, and even more in that situation. And honestly, he had to take on a more dangerous version of Killer Croc there, but he had to have the help of Nightwing, which just goes to show, like, Batman is capable of going against Croc at that point, but with him having help, that kind of negates that feat to an extent. But Bruce also had to deal with losing his own mind, having the Joker's influence in his mind take control of him over several times, but Bruce fought through it and was able to lock the Joker away, reclaiming his own mind and removing the brainwashing that the Joker had injected into him via his own blood back in Arkham City. So there should be no toxins, no form of mind control that could break him. Suicide Squad. Oh, don't know where that came from. But anyways, Bruce has shown time and time again through his use of gadgets with the Bat Claw, the Disruptor, which won't really be needed for this matchup, I guess. He has several forms of batarangs, smoke bombs, and stuff that can disorient people, with his stuns from his cape going into a vicious beatdown mode, and even in some instances of the games, like Arkham Origins and the Armored Edition of Arkham City, he has shock gauntlets, which can just immediately put anybody out of commission, even if it puts Bane out of commission, putting him into cardiac arrest allowing Bruce to revive him within minutes of putting him into that state. So, yeah, overall, Arkham Batman is incredibly dangerous. He's incredibly prepared because his biggest advantage is prep time.
Yes, I couldn't have agreed any more than what he was saying. Excuse me. Prep time is hands down the most lethal and most important thing that Batman possesses. Like he said, a lot of things he said, putting Batman actually pretty damn fast in comparison to these Demon Slayer characters. I know it might sound crazy, and some of you might be sitting here saying, oh, this is just fake. There's just no way he would be this fast. He's just a human. But at the end of the day, we are dealing with a video game, and at the end of the day, we are dealing with an anime. There's a lot of very inconsistent variables that we look at visually that may not seem right, but hands down are correct if you just scale it properly. Batman, in this instance, even if I lowball him down in terms of speed, like he was saying, in terms of not being basically light speed or electricity speed type of ballpark, if I lower him down and actually put him bloodlust, which more or less would make it so Batman would have no problem killing the Demon Slayer verse. That includes the demons and the Demon Slayers, but I won't talk much about the Demon Slayers because, to be honest, if he could defeat a high tier demon on his own, then he could defeat any of the other Demon Slayers, bar none. Now I want to bring up a couple things and kind of put it into perspective how overpowered Batman truly is. Now, I want you to keep this in mind. Arkham Batman, so the video game Batman, may seem very, very overpowered, and in all defense, he 100% is. But there are instances of Batman going against Superman in the comics, being able to surprise Superman, someone with super hearing, supervision, X-ray vision, and so on. Someone that moves at insane speeds, feats that wouldn't even come close to most animes we've ever watched, that literally had trouble keeping track of where Batman was coming from because of his use of stealth and the shadows. So that would be a major thing in terms of this breakdown, or in terms of this Demon Slayer verse versus Batman. I want to start though at the very beginning. Obviously, we're going to have a bloodlusted Batman because a non-bloodlusted Batman just wouldn't kill, and he kind of needs to kill. So the first version of Batman, and I'll be talking about two, would be one that we throw in and we just drop him a Nichiren blade in all of his equipment. That version of Batman, I believe, truly believe, gets pretty damn far. I honestly do believe, though, that there is arguments to be made that he could literally solo them one-on-one. Now, when we get to big groups, when we get to these massive groups, of course, it would be really difficult. And if we're talking about one-on-ones, and we're talking about just solo v solo, so like him versus Akaza, I truly believe Batman with all his equipment, without proper training even in the Demon Slayer verse, would wipe the floor with them. Now, a lot of you may actually not be able to take that down with a grain of salt, or a spoonful of sugar, some may say, but at the end of the day, just from the feats we have seen from the Arkham Batman, from the Arkham games, these kind of stack up. Putting him at the level of speed of Demon Slayer, and also putting him at the same level of being able to actually hit properly as hard as we've seen as he faces multiple titans and so on, it could be pretty ugly. But here's the thing, I want to be completely transparent about all of this, because there's a version of Batman I'm going to talk about in a little bit that is just a little bit different. Now, being transparent, there is a chance that Batman can't actually cut through some of the higher level demons' necks. And I'm sure some of you have already commented that. And I'm sure like a lot of you were thinking about that as well. Even if you see feats that Batman makes maybe actually is as fast as some of these demons, Kokushibo, Akaza, Doma, so on, and that would continue on, then you would probably have to go to the argument of strength. Now, 100%, I think there's a good chance that Batman actually can't cut through the necks of some of the demons. Now, I think there are quite a few demons, and obviously Demon Slayers, because they don't have strong necks, that he would be able, or who wouldn't be able to, excuse me, cut through their necks. So the higher tier demons, he wouldn't be able to cut through their necks. Lower tier demons, I truly believe he would be able to pretty easily. Now, I think, in my opinion, and I want to make this clear, very my opinion, that he would be able to climb up at least Tadaki. And I don't think it would be that hard for him to do so, at least not Arkham Batman. Arkham Batman has some pretty insane feats, like I said before, and something that Crown or Comic Fiend has gone over already. And he'd be able to cut through a far, far greater amount of their necks than you possibly could imagine. Plus, his utility. He has some insane utility, guys. Yes, I know. Technically, these inventions wouldn't actually be there or wouldn't actually exist, but you have to bring them with Batman. It is Batman. And if you want to be like, well, he shouldn't have those gadgets, well, that's why I have the second version of Batman here for you. The second version of Batman is a Batman that has prep time. A Batman that actually is able to learn how to utilize breathing styles, concentration breathing, utilize a Nichiren blade, maybe even a Nichiren blade that more suits him. So maybe you put claws on his armor or so on, or maybe you just get rid of his suit entirely and give him a Nichiren blade and training. Prep time and actually giving, well, the greatest martial artist practically to ever exist, prep time and time to actually be strong and actually be able to utilize the same power in this Demon Slayer verse would absolutely give him the ability to solo this verse no diff. There is no way you can convince me otherwise. The feats of Arkham Batman, and now you scale with the Demon Slayer breathing styles. We know that the breathing styles literally give enhanced strength, enhanced speed. Don't even get me started about the Demon Slayer mark. It's the same thing. You enhance your strength, enhance your speed, enhance your durability, enhance your regeneration. All of these things play a huge part into this. We literally seen Zenitsu move at light speed. Literally have seen him. Now, I hate to admit this, and I'm going to say this straight up. I just visually never thought they could move that fast. I think visually you think, oh no, they're not moving that fast, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then you start looking at all of the feats. You start looking at people dodging lightning. You start seeing all of these different things, from demons that can shoot literal lightning or demons that can do insane things that are cutting through the air. It's wild what these feats truly are. And it's the same kind of precedent with Batman, at least Arkham Batman. Now, video games might not be realistic, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna admit that video games aren't realistic, guys. But let's be honest, animes aren't either. So it's kind of interesting to stack up someone that is a video game character like Arkham Batman to the literal Demon Slayer verse. It's definitely something I didn't expect myself to be doing, but it's something I really, really was interested in actually talking about. And shout out to Comic Fiend again for actually doing that breakdown analysis for us. Because, I mean, like I said, I'm no power scaler. He's definitely a better power scaler than me. So, final thoughts before I wrap up this video, because I promised my editor this wouldn't be too long, because, I mean, Crown Fiend or Comic Fiend did most of the work for me. To wrap it up, I think one version of Batman definitely would have a harder time than another because of what we've talked about, prep time, right? Prep time with Batman, it's a big thing, and it's even a meme. Honestly, Batman can beat anybody with prep time. Now, I'm gonna be honest, that might not be 100% true, but in my opinion, it's 100% true in this circumstance. A Batman with no breathing styles, no nothing like that, just a Nichiren blade, would still do pretty damn well in one-on-one battles with these demons. Would do really damn well. And that's including the gadgets, that's including all of these different tools that he could use. Maybe a freeze grenade that we've seen him use on multiple occasions, stun gun grenades, stun grenades, and so on and so forth. These batarangs are good utility. Even if they're not guaranteed to hit, we know Batman has a way of making that batarang stick, and that is a fact if I've ever seen one myself. Now, On top of that, his usage of the shadows, usage of the dark, works perfectly when facing demons. They're literally always at nighttime. And if you think, oh, the demons could tell where he was, keep in mind that a version of Batman literally had Superman guessing. Didn't know exactly where Batman was because of how good he was at stealth. That's how insane Batman is, and that's how insane Arkham Batman truly is as well. Now, and to wrap up the second version, I don't think he would have much trouble with the Demon Slayer verse based on our calculations, quote unquote, and based on what we've seen feat-wise from Arkham Batman, if you gave him some time to learn how to use concentration breathing, total concentration breathing, water breathing, any style of breathing style, whatever you think is perfect for Batman. I think that would lead to him absolutely obliterating the verse. But I can always see the arguments, and I'll love to see what people have to say. As always, please keep it calm, cool, and collected in the comment section below. Like I said, this is all our opinion. We don't know this for sure. We've never seen Batman get dropped into the Demon Slayer verse. Shoot, all we know is dropping Batman or Arkham Batman into the Demon Slayer verse leads to him getting blown up immediately and destroyed. Shoot, we don't know. Dropping him into the Demon Slayer verse may lead to Arkham Batman obliterating all of them in one night, and that would be pretty insane too. But yeah, that's just something that I wanted to speak on and something I wanted to talk about. The next video that will come out this week will definitely be more a normal what if, compared to, you know, could Arkham Batman solo the Demon Slayer verse. As always, if y'all enjoyed the video, show some love, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below. As always, be nice in the comment section to me, to my friends, Comic Fiend, and all that. If you're not nice, or at least, you know, giving actual criticism / actual commentary with what you believe and calling people stupid or idiots and so on, your comment will be deleted pretty quickly. I'm trying to keep a happy and cool community, guys, and please be nice to each other at the end of the day. But I don't mind the conversation going back and forth and basically arguing about who you think would actually win in this battle. With all that said, I hope all you guys have an amazing day. Later.